Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our September 12th, 2023 Madison County Fiscal Court meeting. It is a regular scheduled meeting here at Berea City Hall, the Berea Council Chambers at 304 Chestnut Street. We always appreciate Berea allowing us, Mayor Fraley allowing us to use their facility. It's a great facility. This time I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Master Combs.
Here.
Master Lockmiller.
Here.
Master Hughes.
Here.
Master Botkin.
Present.
Judge Taylor.
Here. At this time, I'm going to invite our Master of the 1st District, Brian Combs, to lead us in a word of prayer.
Join me in prayer if you would. Father, we thank you, God, for this day that you've blessed us with. And God, we're thankful for the traveling mercy and grace that you have given us to come in this place. Father, we acknowledge that you are our King, our Father, and God, that you are a protector. And God, we thank you for all that you do for us. Father, we're thankful, Lord, as leaders of this community, this county, God, that you have given us, God, this role. And we ask, God, that you would give us wisdom to make good decisions. Father, that we will bless those that we represent. And Father, we ask, God, that you bless all those that work in our county government. God, our first responders, our firefighters, all those, God, that protect us day in and day out. God, we pray, God, that you will protect them. Father, we ask, God, again, Lord, as we go through this meeting, God, that you give us wisdom to make righteous decisions. And Father, we'll give you the praise for all those that are made. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Brian. Tom, if you will, lead us in the pledge.
Stand, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Members of the court, y'all have had a chance to look over your previous meeting minutes. That was August the 22nd fiscal court meeting. I need a motion and a second to approve.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmiller.
Yes.
Master Hughes.
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Treasury report will be at our next fiscal court meeting. First, today we have a proclamation recognizing Constitution Week, and we have Miss Deborah Parsons here with us. Deborah, if you want to come up. And we also have Tara. Come on up, Tara. Tara O'Donnell with us. I'm going to read the proclamation, and then, Ms. Parsons, you can say whatever you'd like to. Whereas it is the privilege and duty of the American people to commemorate the 236th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America with appropriate ceremonies and activities. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. Excuse me. Now, therefore, I, Reagan Taylor, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the County of Madison and the State of Kentucky, and the Madison County Fiscal Court do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on the privilege of being an American with all the rights and responsibilities which that privilege involves.
Thank you very much, Reagan. I appreciate it. Thomas Jefferson once said that we can't have a good country unless we have an educated electorate. Part of our goal as DAR is to make sure that children at least have their own copy of the Constitution and are aware of the fact that it includes the line, "We the people." They are not governed by a king or some nebulous thing. They know to whom they are responsible and who is responsible for what happens. I appreciate the burden you all bear for serving our country, but in like manner, I really appreciate what you all do.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Y'all come up. Picture everybody.
Tara says you really want to talk.
You gotta get in there with us.
My only good side is not to be scared.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
You all right? All right, thank you all again, appreciate it. Next is a update from Emerson McAfee. Come on up, Emerson, it's good to have you here. We're gonna talk about Kentucky Veterans Hall of Fame update, and then maybe you've got another update.
Got this sciatic nerve. It's been bothering me for about 3 or 4 weeks now, and starting therapy when I leave here, first time. Anyway, on the Kentucky Veterans Hall of Fame monuments, they are still working on the Lexington Monument. Richmond's next in line, and Berea's next in line. And I believe they have another one back up one of the counties up there next to Cincinnati again. Don't know when these things are going to be erected or finished, but we know the order. And as of last Friday, we have the concrete poured in front of Southern High School for the one here in Berea. It's took me 3 months to get DeVere Construction over there. I wanted them to come over and just let me show you where I want it, and I couldn't get anybody over there. And all of a sudden, last Tuesday, right after the holiday, I got a hold of one of the guys over here, and he come over there and he flagged it out. And he called me on Friday and says, the concrete is poured. So he dug it, formed it, and got it poured. So we're ready for either one of the monuments when they're ready. I'll be glad to see that, and hope that I can be alive at that time, whatever it is. I'd like to see them both go in by Veterans Day, but I'm not so sure. I don't know how long it takes to make one. Okay, so we're good on that so far, and I'm not, I don't think I'm in any condition to continue working south of here at the other counties. I've been to both, 3 or 4 of them down there twice. So if they're interested, they'll get in contact with me. Fine if they do, and fine if they don't. I just heard at the 10th annual banquet on Friday night that the price is going from 10 to 15,000 on the monuments. I'm not sure I can sell any at that price. All right, the second subject, the Kentucky Veterans Hall of Fame wants to place a museum somewhere in the state. And the most logical and best place, they agree, is in the center of the eastern half, right on 75 somewhere. I went to the city, Richmond, last month, briefed them on it. Of course, they got a lot of buildings. They could put one in already. They wouldn't have to build anything. But I'm just bringing it to you guys to see what your thoughts are, because I can vision something out there at the Whitehall exit. We've got Whitehall there, and we've got that Veterans Park that was started, and I have no idea where it's at, really. I've heard rumors of different things, but I sort of had an interest in getting that thing awake again and seeing what could be done. I'm not a big searcher for grants, but it'll take some money, and I can see that it would take possibly 5 to 10 years to get that thing completed, and maybe about the same amount of millions, 5 million or more maybe, to get everything. And then I got to thinking, the museum and that park, right near there, I'm sure you got another little bit of land you could put a building up. You'd have Whitehall and the park and the museum. Across the interstate, you've got Boonesboro Fort over there. 4 tourist attractions in one exit. And that's where you usually get these things to go when they got other things to go to. I think they could spend a weekend there at that exit if they wanted to easily. It'd take money and a lot of grants, I guess. So I just wanted to bring all that up. And the handout I gave you is information from this Jeffersontown Veterans Memorial Park they've got there. They have got their regular park. These pictures will show you in there. All 5 services in a circle, big boards, pictures and words. They've got it's Blue Star or Gold Star. I believe it's a Blue Star Mother's Memorial, so it's for all those that had people in there. And there's a picture of that in there. It's a beautiful thing. It's only about so high, but it looks to me exactly like the one that Somerset is trying to get put in their park for $70,000. So the one down there is probably a lot larger model than the one they've got over there, but it's beautiful. They're just building a outdoor pavilion, put in it, and next month they're getting ready to dedicate. You'll see it at the end here, this Tryon Monument. It's in honor of all 8 countries that fought in the Vietnam War, U.S. and the other 7. They got 8 columns representing the 8 countries, and all the way around the walk, they're going to have big boards with pictures on it from Vietnam, and it'll be interactive, where you can get the little code in the corners and hear information about it. So they've got all this together, and they have a helicopter. They have I believe it's a tank in there, and they've got a missile for the Air Force, and they've got a gun off of a ship for the Navy. So they've got physical items like we would want out here, all 4 of them in the park. And they just continue more things. I don't know where they get all the money, but this Tryon Monument, I know personally that it's almost $2.5 million just for that part of it. So I understand it costs money for all these things. And I would desire to maybe move into this Veterans Park idea we have out here and see what I could do, if there's any way I could get involved in it to move it on and get it moving again. That would probably be my final act. These 2 monuments, when they're sitting up there, I'm just about finished. But I would like to have one more thing to do. And if I could have anything to do with getting that park moving towards completion, I'd enjoy my exit from this world as it goes. I'm 82, and who knows how many more I've got, but I'd like to get a little bit more work in. So that's going to be up to you folks, whether you're interested enough in it to see what we could do about moving it forward. I'll take any questions you got.
Any questions?
I don't have a question, Emerson, but I do have a comment. I want to just take opportunity to thank you for your tireless efforts
Thank
to
you.
support Kentucky veterans. You know, the fact of the matter that is that we're all sitting here today because somewhere a soldier, sailor, airman, marine, or Coast Guardsman gave their life, in some cases, to support the Constitution of the United States, to protect and defend. And that's the reason we're here today in a free country where we can gather and make decisions and do those things. But you've managed to keep the I say manage, it's not manage. You work effortlessly and tirelessly to make sure that the Kentucky veterans are not forgotten, and we certainly appreciate all your efforts. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the word.
Anyone else?
Oh, I forgot to mention about the monuments. There'll be separate dedications for them. Don't know when yet. I thought it would be in Richmond along with their park dedication, but our city manager is not really attuned to the ways of the military and the veterans. He wanted to do them both together, and he said you can have a couple minutes to speak about the monument. And I just thought for a few minutes there, let me send an email back to him. And then I started, well, we'll have to do this. He come back quickly with an email saying, we'll probably have to do separate dedications. Because ours would be 30 to 45 minutes probably for that monument, with the getting Christy Miller to come sing, getting the guys to bring in the guns and play taps, and the whole works. You know, you can't just put up a veterans monument in 2 minutes and say here it is. So we'll do that separate. Then Berea will probably be behind it sometime, and I'd love to get them both in before the end of the year, but I'm not betting on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So that lurch in. We'd love to see everybody that's interested come out for either or both of them when we dedicate them. And Richmond, I don't know where they're going to put the chairs, the way the thing is sit there with all that stuff in there, but if they do it, I went to the one in Owensboro, and they had about 75 or 80 people there. Got a bunch of seats out there. So I don't really think we'll get that big a turnout in Richmond. We could. It just depends on if all the veterans see it, and the ones that are interested in veterans show up.
Yep.
All right, thanks again for your
Thanks.
time.
Appreciate it, Emerson. Appreciate it a lot.
Judge in fiscal court, excuse me, if I may, we just got notice that Coach Kidd had passed away. So I thought it would be appropriate for us to take a moment to honor his passing. I know he's up with the good Lord, and you know, so much of what he did around Madison County and Richmond and EKU. So if it was okay with the court, I thought we might just take a moment of silence, and then we can move on with our business.
Yep.
So
That'd be good.
we can
Thanks, Steve.
take a moment of silence.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Steve. You know, the lives that he's touched over the years. I mean, my mom had him as a gym teacher at Madison High, and I always thought the world of him. And I mean, he's touched lives for a long, long time. So it's good. Thank you. Thanks some of my team for sharing that with me. I had no idea. So
If you've ever played football in Madison County, Coach Kidd's probably touched your life, whether it be directly or indirectly, because every coach probably in Madison County is worked with Coach Kidd or played for Coach Kidd or whatever. But you know, I played football for Madison Southern, and all my coaches were affiliated with Coach Kidd, and so you know, he's touched many lives throughout the county, like you said.
thank you all. Appreciate it. Next would be the second reading of ordinance 2023-13. This is land use and development regulations. Bert.
Everybody. This is ordinance 2023-13, an ordinance relating to the Madison County Fiscal Court, Kentucky, adopting new land development and subdivision regulations. Be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Madison County, Kentucky, that whereas the Madison County Office of Planning and Development and Madison County Planning Commission identified a need to update and rewrite the regulations, rules, and ordinances relating to land use, development, and subdivision in Madison County, Kentucky. And whereas the Madison County Office of Planning and Development, at the direction of the Fiscal Court, caused to be drafted a comprehensive document, the Madison County Land Development and Subdivision Regulations, a copy of which are attached hereto and incorporated herein to that end and effect. And whereas the Madison County Planning Commission held a public hearing on Tuesday, August 15, 2023, to consider said Madison County Land Development and Subdivision Regulations and whether to recommend same to be adopted as the new land use and subdivision regulations for Madison County. And after discussion of the same, the Commission found that adopting same would be in the interest of Madison County and in furtherance of good governance, development, and the goals of the comprehensive plan. And whereas the Commission voted unanimously to recommend to the Madison County Fiscal Court to adopt the Madison County Land Development and Subdivision Regulations. Now therefore be it ordained and enacted by the Fiscal Court of the County of Madison, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that the findings and recommendations of the Madison County Planning Commission are hereby adopted, and that the Madison County Land Development and Subdivision Regulations are adopted to replace and be the land use and subdivision regulations for Madison County, Kentucky, replacing all previously adopted land use and subdivision regulations. The Madison County Office of Planning and Development shall make the appropriate textual changes to the Madison County Planning and Zoning Regulations to effect this change. This ordinance shall become effective on the date of the second reading and adoption.
Thank you, Bert.
Motion to approve ordinance 2023-13, Judge.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Judge, I want to introduce
Introduce
Amy
Amy.
Williams. She's with Taylor Sifker Williams, who is the firm that's helped us way back.
Is it Sifker or Seifker?
Siefker.
Seifker.
I never have been able to pronounce it.
German.
Thanks
I've
for
said
doing
it
that.
Seifker.
So you can just kind of smooth over it.
Yeah.
So she's going to tell you a little bit about the process and how we got where we are today. And if y'all have any questions for her, she'd be glad to answer them, I'm sure.
Sure. Thanks, Bert. Amy, welcome.
Thank you guys for having us. Definitely, it's been a fun journey going through. We helped to lead through the comprehensive plan process first, and then transitioned to the ordinances last year. And really, our purpose through this was to make it a lot easier, not just for plan commission developers, but for the average person to read a zoning ordinance and figure things out. We really streamlined it, brought you up with state statute that were requirements, kind of, again, maybe right-size some areas that weren't being used. But we went through a process that we had a committee that met, I believe, 6 times over the process. That included folks from Planning Commission and the judge and surveyor, local developers. Those types of folks give variety of input and thoughts, and we're able to kind of go through and really revise this document to, again, some things just brought in and reorganized, but really kind of making sure some things were a little bit more streamlined, easier to understand, and more applicable to Madison County in general. So happy to answer specific questions, but didn't want to take up, 20-minute presentation on your agenda.
I'm sure everybody here appreciates that, Amy. Any questions? Any comments? I want to thank you and your team. I don't know, some of the long-time serving county employees. I guess Bert.
Chief was on that committee too.
Yes, Fire Chief.
Obviously, had a hand in the road stuff, so yeah, everybody.
But this is the first time we really redone, updated in probably close to 20 years, hasn't it, Bert? I mean,
Probably right.
because before it was kind of every 5 years or whatever, you just kind of
Yeah, and it was kind of
updated the maps and the new numbers and populations and stuff, and so this was an investment, but it was a really good investment by the fiscal court, and so I'm glad to be where we're at, because we are growing and we're going to continue to bust at the seams, especially out in the county. So a lot of good things. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmiller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thank you all. Amy, thank you.
Around, or we got 22 items on there, so you can bug out if you want to.
Yeah. Hey, and safe
Yeah, she goes
safe
to
travels. Thank you for being here. Next, first reading of ordinance 2023-14. This is a land use change at 479 Mount Vernon Road from UC1 Single Family Residential to UC4 General Commercial.
It's ordinance 2023-14, an ordinance of the Madison County Fiscal Court, Kentucky, approving the zone change of 479 Mount Vernon Road, Berea, Kentucky, and authorizing the amendment of the official zoning map of Madison County, Kentucky. Whereas the hereinafter described land is located in Madison County, Kentucky, and whereas the Madison County Planning Commission held a public hearing on Tuesday, August 15, 2023, to consider a land use change request application from UC1 Residential to UC4 General Commercial. Upon presentation by the applicant and limited public comment, findings of fact were made by the Planning Commission as described in their summary of evidence, findings of fact, and recommendation to the fiscal court attached hereto and made a part hereof for all purposes. As follows: that the existing zoning classification is inappropriate and the proposed zoning classification is appropriate for the following reasons. A, the property is located within the urban corridor and adjacent to other general commercial property where general commercial development is encouraged by the comprehensive plan. That the character of the property is more suitable for commercial purposes as the subject property is in close proximity to other properties used for business purposes. And C, that the long-established usage of the property makes transition to residential use impractical and undesirable. D, the property has never served as a residential facility and has only served an auxiliary general commercial purpose. E, that small residential lots along major highways are discouraged by the comprehensive plan. F, that the property's existing zone UC1 is not appropriate. G, that the proposed zone UC4 is appropriate. And whereas the Planning Commission, upon hearing testimony, made a motion with unanimous consent to recommend to the Madison County Fiscal Court to approve the land use change request from UC1 to UC4. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has reviewed said findings and recommendation of the Madison County Planning Commission, and being otherwise sufficiently advised, does hereby adopt the findings of fact made thereby. Now therefore to be it ordained and enacted by the Fiscal Court of Madison County, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that the land use classification of the following described property be changed by this ordinance from UC1 to UC4 classification. Section 1 contains a legal description of the property. Section 2, that the Madison County GIS coordinator make the appropriate changes to the official zoning map of Madison County, Kentucky. Section 3, that the county clerk cause this ordinance to be published in accordance with the Kentucky Revised Statutes. This ordinance shall become effective on the date of the second reading and adoption.
All right. Members of the court, y'all have heard ordinance number 2023-14. What's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2023-14.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments, conversation?
We were a little late getting the map in there, but y'all did it show up on your,
Bert, thank you for
Dropbox.
getting that map in there. Appreciate that.
you had me, you had me shaving this morning thinking, oh crap, I forgot that map for Tom.
That is good, though, to have that map.
It does
gives-
help.
Yeah, that's good addition, so. I think this is a pretty easy one here.
Yeah, this property fronts on US 25, obviously, and also has frontage on Slate Lick Road.
Sewer.
That strip center right next to it. It's got sewer.
Yeah.
It's in the urban corridor. It's been used. It's to my knowledge, never been used for what it's zoned. It's always been used in some kind of commercial capacity. So the owner just wants to bring it up to what it's actually already being used for anyway.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
have any objections to it at the meeting, Bert?
There was a one citizen that had some concerns about traffic, and I happen to agree with her that property doesn't really have a quote unquote dedicated entrance. And we mentioned all that frontage on 25 and Slate Lick, and it's just, you can just pull right in there from anywhere on that road, which can be a bit of a traffic hazard if you don't know that somebody's going to all of a sudden pull in there. And the discussion at the planning commission's hearing was if they were to do a development on that, actually build something and do a commercial site development plan, that we would want them to rectify that with a dedicated entrance, curbing.
Well, they'd have to do a site development plan.
That's right.
And anyway, I mean, that would have to all be done.
So that I think would address that one concern that we did have.
Yeah. All right. Any more discussion? All right. For any citizen that would like to make a public comment, please feel free to email the comment to comments@madisoncountyky.gov. A copy of this ordinance will be available on our website at www.madisoncountyky.us under the Transparency tab. Is that changing to .gov as well? Huh? Okay. All right. All right. So we have a motion and a second to approve first reading. No more discussion. Call the roll.
Master Lockmuller,
Yes.
Master Hughes,
Yes.
Master Bachman,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Bert. Appreciate it. Next, Resolution 2023-107. This is ratify Eastern Kentucky University's Madison Airport Road, Inc. appointment. And I'm reading this resolution. All right. A resolution for the Madison County Fiscal Court to ratify the Eastern Kentucky University appointment to the Madison County Airport Board, Inc., whereas the Eastern Kentucky University EKU president has appointed a university member to the Madison Airport Board, Inc., with approval from the Board of Regents. And whereas KRS 183.132 subsection 6 states the Madison County Fiscal Court is required to ratify each local agency's appointment to the Madison Airport Board, Inc. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison County Fiscal Court does hereby ratify the EKU appointment to the Madison County Airport Board, Inc. as follows. Colleen Cheney, 2-year term appointment, which will expire September 14th, 2025. And this has already been to the City of Richmond, has Mayor Bly's signature, and the City of Berea, which has Mayor Fraley's signature.
Motion approved resolution 2023-107, Judge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Colleen's a good addition to the board. She's been working there with them for several months now, and we appreciate her efforts out there with the board, everything they do. Steve is a member of the board out there, and he can testify to that, but we certainly appreciate everything she does for us.
Good words. Anyone else? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Hughes,
Yes.
Master Bachman.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Lockmuller,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next, Resolution 2023-108. This is the Joint Post-CSEP Transition Task Force. Jill.
Good morning. This is a joint resolution of Madison County, the City of Berea, and the City of Richmond acknowledging the desire to collaborate on a post-CSEP projects impacting all jurisdictions. Whereas Madison County, the City of Berea, and the City of Richmond are committed to maximizing the public safety and emergency response for the citizens of Madison County without federal CSEP funding. And whereas the 3 jurisdictions recognize the need for collaboration to maintain the services currently provided by CSEP for our county. And whereas the 3 jurisdictions understand the need to prepare prayer for the loss of federal CSEP funding that has provided tools and resources to support our community for the past 30 years. And whereas each jurisdiction shall appoint 2 members to a post-CSEP transition task force to collaborate and identify innovative strategies, funding, and actionable recommendations for our legislative bodies. Now, therefore, be it resolved this 12th day of September 2023 by Madison County, Kentucky, the Judge Executive and or his designee is hereby authorized to represent the county in a joint post-CSEP transition task force and appoint its members.
That's kind of a mouthful there, isn't it?
It is.
Thank you, Jill. Appreciate it. Y'all have heard Resolution 2023-108. What's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
You know, Judge, we've been talking about this for a long time now, and we've had, it wasn't a task force, but we had a group that met for years there that had all the people that you've just talked about in larger numbers. But, you know, it's time for us to be serious about it, and it's time to come to an end, and we certainly we're glad that there's going to be a task force that everybody's going to participate in.
Yep. It'll be good. It is. Thanks, Tom. And I think Richmond is actually, it's on their agenda for tonight. And then Berea, it'll be on
It's
Mayor,
next week.
next Tuesday. Yeah. So, just everybody's knowledge. All right. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Bakken?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Resolution 2023-109. This is discretionary funds for resurfacing Charles White Road and portions of Gravel Lick Branch Road. Scott, good morning, buddy.
Morning. A resolution adopting and approving the execution of a memorandum of agreement between the Madison County Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Highways for the resurfacing of Charles White Road and portions of Gravel Lick Branch Road in the amount of $212,600. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court County does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept the funds provided in said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees all terms and conditions therein stated. And whereas the Judge Executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreement as set forth on behalf of the Fiscal Court of Madison, and the Fiscal Court Clerk of Madison County is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. Now therefore be it resolved that the Madison County Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thanks, Scott. Y'all have heard Resolution 2023-109. Do I have a motion and a second?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-109, Judge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Bakken?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Before we move on, I do want to always thank Transportation Cabinet, those that when we ask for things, they try their best. I know they don't have just a bucket full of money, and so they have to spread it all over the Commonwealth, but anytime that we can get discretionary money, we really appreciate it. And so thanks, Scott. Thanks for all your all's work, you and Melissa, on requesting that. Next is Resolution 2023-110. This is bridge funds for Sam Jones Road.
Resolution 23-110, a resolution adopting and approving the execution of a rural secondary program agreement between the Madison County Fiscal Court, hereinafter referred to as the county, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural Municipal Aid, hereinafter referred to as the department, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being part of the county road system. Whereas it would be to the benefit of the traveling public to replace a bridge on Sam Jones Road, County Road Number 1071, otherwise detailed in the CB01 Bridge Funds Agreement, which shall hereinafter be referred to as the project. Whereas the county has expressed its desire to perform the work for the aforementioned project and to be responsible for all phases of the project. And whereas the Transportation Cabinet shall be responsible for providing and agrees to reimburse up to the amount of 80% of the actual secondary project cost but in no case to exceed $78,560 for the above-mentioned project. In no event shall the county not be responsible for the 20% of the cost. Now therefore be it resolved by the Madison County Fiscal Court that the Fiscal Court does hereby certify all roads and streets referred to in said agreement are county roads as defined in KRS 178.010 1B, and the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees to all the terms and conditions thereunto stated, which is attached hereto this resolution. And the Madison County Judge Executive is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreement as set forth on the behalf of Madison County Fiscal Court, and the Madison County Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. Be it further resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Scott. That was more than a mouthful than what
Who
Jill
wrote
had, wasn't it? The resolution 2023-110, pleasure of the court.
I make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Let's cross our fingers. This will be the last breeze for a while, I hope.
We hope.
I hope. Yeah. All right, call the roll.
Master Lockmuller,
Yes.
Master Hughes,
Yes.
Master Bakken,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. And that's one reason why, too, it's good to participate in the 80-20 bridge program and the Mercy Fund program at the Transportation Cabinet. And so, just so you all know, when we get our road funding, they hold back 3% for these things that happen, emergencies and things like that. So that's why we participate, because we can utilize and be parts of these programs. So,
Is that money bank, Judge? I don't remember.
is it what?
Is it bank?
It does. I think it carries over 2 years. Is that right? So, and which of course we've never not used. I mean, we've never not had something
Yeah.
come up in a 2-year period of time. And this actually, some of these bridges, Scott, they allowed us to roll over, right? Something after, because it just hit at a time where.
Yeah, the last bridge we fixed was from last year, and
This is this year's money, yep. Yep. All right. Next, Resolution 2023-111, Colt Engineering, Inc., DBA Thoroughbred Engineering Professional Services Agreement. Jill.
This is a resolution to approve the professional services agreement between the Madison County Fiscal Court and Colt Engineering, doing business as Thoroughbred Engineering. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to enter into a professional services agreement with Colt Engineering, DBA Thoroughbred Engineering for engineering and design services, and whereas the county has been pleased with the work of Thoroughbred has performed on previous projects. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the Judge Executive and/or his designee to negotiate and execute contracts on behalf of the county. You can tell the ones that we write are way easier to read than the ones that.
Motion approved resolution 2023-111, Judge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Judge, will this give businesses opportunity? Will they be able to do like advertisement on this kind of stuff, or was it?
No. I think any of that could be determined, Brian. I mean, there's really not. This is an opportunity to beautify our community and kind of go down a path. We don't know what it really looks like.
Gotcha.
And so this will actually help create that, whatever that look might be.
Right.
I think we have different.
First steps, right?
It is. And I think we have an opportunity. We have 7 different opportunities because we have 7 different exits so I'm excited about it.
But you know,
Really.
you're taking the lead to do a design for the 2 city exits. And it's a service, we're actually doing it primarily for the cities, but it's a good faith effort on our part to put forth the money to beautify the main entrances to the 2 cities in this county, and hopefully they'll appreciate that.
Yeah, and they're excited as well. I mean, I've had conversations with them, and so I think this will benefit us all over and over and over if we can get everybody to come together
Yeah, if I can just insert, in my previous positions, there's been several conversations about the exits off of 75 into Madison County and the need to update and have better-looking exits, for the lack of other words. I think it's really proactive on the county, because I was pushing in the past that the university as well as the cities should be the ones actually taking this on. But I'm glad that they're excited, but I'm also honored to be a part of the county taking the initiative to do it. And so I just got to say that I'm very proud to be part of this movement, Judge.
And my hope too is that this is not just even a partnership amongst the governments, but this is a partnership even with the community, and to Brian's point, the businesses, and that that we can be unified on this, and we can all help and share in the benefits that will come to our community for doing it. So
My point was, that most businesses in our community have some sort of statement about being a corporate partner in the community, and they want to help. A lot of times they don't know what direction to go. Well, this is an opportunity to give them some direction and tap into that, because they have money to spend. That's not taxpayer money, and they want to participate in this community. So I think it's a great thing.
Yep.
You made a good point. Brian was talking about something there that about the advertisement issue. I'm not necessarily sure that it's an advertisement issue. However, we've all seen the pictures of what Bowling Green has done and what they look like. I'll give you another really good example is if you're ever down Interstate 26 in South Carolina, Orangeburg, South Carolina has an exit down there that's just, it's gorgeous. And the things that they can do with that, and the appeal that it gives to people who would want to come and do business in your community. I talked to Mayor Fraley about it this morning, and he is excited. And he did mention the fact of corporate partners and sponsorships, and not necessarily into the degree that they would be others that would be willing to help out. It's a great idea. And it just says, hey, we're here, we're welcome, we're open for business, and it's a good thing.
It's your first impression when you come off the interstate.
That's right.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt, but I've always said EKU would be crazy not to be involved in this, because they can build all the pretty things on our campus they want to, but getting off that interstate's the first impression of the university.
And I think they will, Kenny. To your point, I think they will. I think Berea College. I think we'll have a lot of. It's exciting, man. This is. This is going to be good.
You got to drop that pebble in the water to make those waves. This is the first step.
But it's not going to be easy. Right now is the easy part, but getting in, and creating the design, and trying to bring everybody together. That's the work, and that sometimes is the hard part. So we all have to do this together. We got to support each other in it, and I think it'll be good.
You only get one chance to make a good first impression.
Yep.
Right now, we're not making very good on our interstates, that's for sure.
Well, and I think of my friend Jay Webb. When does anybody notice when you come across the Clays Ferry Bridge back into Madison County? He took that upon himself. There's a citizen that took it upon himself, didn't ask for any help, and is beautifying that hillside, right? And does it not look a lot better? Put a lot of effort.
It'd look a lot better if it said "Welcome to Madison County" on the side of it.
I love it. See Hollywood letters right across there. It said Madison County.
Maybe not Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, the Hollywood sign is what I'm saying. Madison County. Yeah. So, yeah.
He's done a very good job.
Yep. So there's going to be supporters out there. Is my point.
Absolutely.
That's going to come along with us. So, any other questions? Any comments?
Just let any of us know what we can do to help support this.
Absolutely.
We're behind you.
Yep. Anyone else? Call the roll.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. I think I got stuff stuck together. All right, Resolution 2023-112, and that's Steve.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to read this today, Steve?
I will.
All right.
This is a resolution approving a contract between Madison County Fiscal Court and the Three Forks Regional Jail to house adult Madison County prisoners. Whereas during necessary times, Madison County Fiscal Court requires the use of other detention centers to provide temporary housing for adult Madison County prisoners. And whereas Jailer Steve Tussey wishes to enter into a contract with Three Forks Regional Jail at a rate of $35 per day for each Madison County prisoner housed at the jail in Beattyville, Kentucky. And whereas this agreement shall become effective upon signature of all parties. Now for there be it resolved that Fiscal Court does hereby approve to enter into a contract and authorizes the judge executive and or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Steve. Y'all heard Resolution 2023-112. What's the pleasure of the court?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
What's their capacity up there, Steve? How many could they take? Do you know?
We've got almost 40 up there now, Billy Ray, and they've told me they'd probably do 60 or 70 if we needed them. It's a big facility, and they've got right now, a lot of empty beds.
That's a regional facility, too.
It's a regional facility, and the location is really great for us.
Yeah.
And for the sheriff's department, just doing the transports up there, it's just a little over an hour away.
What is that, like Beattyville, Lee County?
Yeah.
Is it Lee County?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Buchan?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, Resolution 2023-113, purchase cab tractors and boom mower attachments. Scott.
A resolution approving the purchase of 2 John Deere 6120M cab tractors and 2 boom mower attachments for the Madison County Road Department. Whereas Madison County Road Department received a quote from Meade Tractor under Kentucky Ground Maintenance NASPO Master Agreement, which consists of an individual cost of $112,695.84 per tractor, and a quote from the Alamo Group under Kentucky Master Agreement, which consists of an individual cost of $94,127.20 per mower attachment. And whereas the total cost is $413,646.08, and whereas the current equipment is beyond the end of its life cycle, and whereas Madison County Road Department Supervisor Scott Shepard has reviewed the quotes and wishes to enter into a contract with Meade Tractor to purchase 2 cab tractors and Alamo Group to purchase 2 boom mower attachments with an anticipated delivery date of late June 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive and or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
All right, thanks, Scott. You've heard Resolution 2023-113. Pleasure of court.
Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd just like to support Scott on this because they're badly needed. I've had some roads in my district that they've got out there and worked on, and so this is a good investment for the county.
Very much so. And Scott, how old are the ones we have now?
They're 96, 97 models, and they have around 12 to 13,000 hours on them.
Yeah.
It's to the point now, every time we take them out, we ended up welding on them half a day to keep them going to be able to get a full day in.
Yeah. I think anytime you can get over 20 years out of a piece of equipment that's been mowing our county roadsides, I mean, that's not easy, you know.
Hardest mowing you'll do.
Yeah. It's not easy work and on that equipment, so I think that's good. And I hope and pray that these 2 new ones we're buying will last over 20 years as well.
Yeah.
So that's a good investment. So.
They probably won't. They don't build them like they used to.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Yeah, that's true. Any
I know, Judge, I've got several calls about, boom mowing, and this is something that we need, and the taxpayers have said this is what they want, so we're glad to be able to do this.
Yep.
Just wish we could get it this year, not next year,
Yeah.
but.
That's anything, man. This equipment stuff, I mean, it's like those dump trucks and stuff. Trucks we're trying to buy and stuff, you try to replace them, you have to wait forever. Cruisers, I know the sheriff and them always having to wait on cruisers and stuff, so it's
Yeah,
tough.
you're a year to 3 years out on about anything you order now.
Yeah. So, all right. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Bucking?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you. Next, resolution 2023-114, AMK Services, LLC, existing P25 radio system maintenance agreement. Chris.
Resolution approving a maintenance agreement for Madison County existing P25 radio system, whereas Madison County Emergency Management Agency and the Chemical Stockpile Emergency Preparedness Program wishes to enter into a contract with AMK Services for Madison County existing P25 radio system as planned and budgeted through the federal CSEP program, and whereas AMK agrees to provide Madison County with repair and maintenance services relating to the Madison County current radio system equipment and set forth in the agreement, and whereas Madison County agrees to purchase these services in accordance with the terms and conditions in the attached agreement to retroactively go into effect September 1st, 2023. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve the resolution and authorizes the judge executive and/or his designee to negotiate and execute contracts on behalf of the county.
Thanks, Chris. Y'all heard resolution 2023-115.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
It was
Chris,
actually
did-
114.
Was it? 1-1.
Isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I've already turned it over. Yes, sorry. 114.
That's all right.
Sorry, I didn't say that. 2023-114.
It's all right. So we have a motion.
One time you didn't say.
Figures don't.
We do have a motion. And who was second?
Billy Ray.
Billy Ray second. All right. Any discussion?
So I just had a question, Chris. Did I read this correct in showing that it's just through December?
Yes, so the current contract expired at the end of August, which is maintaining the system. As you know, the new system is coming online hopefully in December. That's where we're at. So we got to have a stopgap to cover us for these 4 months until we get rolled into the new agreement. So we're currently working with them to write the new contract, which will look completely different than what you see here today. So don't get too scared by those numbers. The number that is in there is offering the same services that CSEP is paying for today, which is the Cadillac of the Cadillac, which we will not do in a post-CSEP world. So
It's basically just an extension.
it's an exact extension of what we did, and there's some language in there in case in case we don't get live on the new system by the end of December. It's in there to go month to month after
Yeah.
that, so it's already approved and ready to go. But it's exactly the same service we received today.
Yep. All right. Anyone else? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Bucking?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thanks, Chris. Next, resolution 2023-115, cost share road surface project for Cavalier Court. Scott.
A resolution approving a cost share road surface project for Cavalier Court in Richmond, Kentucky. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court was asked by the residents of Cavalier Court if there was a desire to accept a cost share project to improve the road surface along Cavalier Court in Madison County, Kentucky. And whereas the county identified the need for resurfacing of the roadway in its recent road assessment, but does not have the required funding at this time. And whereas this project will be a cost share of 74% of the residents and 26% to county, and whereas the project will only cost the county $30 per ton with an estimate of 275 tons for the county share. And whereas this project allows for citizens' engagement, cost savings, and is believed to be in the best interest of the county. And whereas the residents of Cavalier Court are requesting the fiscal court's approval to accept this project. Now therefore be it resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive and/or his designee to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Scott. You've heard resolution 2023-115.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2023-115, Judge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Judge, it'd be a good thing if this happened every single day, but we don't get many opportunities
I'd love to bring one every
for
quarter.
the
Really would.
citizens to put up 75% of the cost.
Yeah.
We certainly appreciate their willingness to do that.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Bucking?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thank you, Scott. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning. So I am so excited to present to you guys who our employee spotlight is for this fiscal court meeting. But prior to that, I kind of wanted to explain how these individuals are selected for our spotlight. So we have been featuring them on our social media for quite some time now, but I thought it was important to present those at fiscal court as well. So our nominations for employee spotlights are all anonymous. They can come from a department head, supervisor, or colleague, and our employees submit those through our employee portal. I go through, and if we have someone who is nominated numerous times or have just done something that's amazing and deserves to be recognized, we select that employee and then we post them. So today, and you may have already seen some posts about this individual, but it was kind of ironic because she had a lot of mentions in our portal as well. So our spotlight today is Andrea Brock from 911. She is a dispatcher currently. She has been with us for about 4 years now. And recently she was selected as Kentucky Telecommunicator of the Year. So major accomplishment, but here recently in 911 we've had a little bit of turnover, some people going back home to different agencies, going back to school, things like that, and Andrea has been recognized numerous times for picking up additional shifts to help out any areas we were short. So I'm going to read a little excerpt of something that a colleague said about her. They said, Andrea is a well-loved dispatcher who takes care of her coworkers and all of her responders. She is very compassionate, dependable, and respectful to anyone she meets. She's a valued asset to 911 and deserves to be recognized for all she does. She is a wonderful friend and coworker, and we feel blessed to have her as part of our team. Now, there were numerous comments other than that, but I think that definitely attests to the character of Andrea and all she does for us.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you, Morgan. Any comments? Any questions?
Just want to thank you, Morgan, for doing that here, because that helps us to know names and to understand certain people, because a lot of times we don't get to meet everybody that works for the county. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and she'll be featured on our social media, so you can put a face to a name on Facebook.
Good.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. So next is personnel.
We've got a big personnel packet today.
Yeah, that's good.
So I would just like to propose the approval of all personnel changes and new hires that are included within your personnel packets.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master Buchan,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Master Lockmuller,
Yes.
Master Hughes,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you, Morgan. Appreciate you. Next is Judge's Report. I do have a few announcements. Richmond Chamber of Commerce Annual City Fest will be Thursday, September 14th, which will be this coming Thursday from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at EKU's Powell Plaza. Your business or organization would like to set up a booth, contact the Richmond Chamber of Commerce. This is a partnership with EKU and local businesses, or the chamber, but local businesses participate, so really good stuff. Also, on September the 14th, beginning at 5 p.m. at the Madison County Fairgrounds, there will be a 4-H country ham dinner and auction. So anybody that would like to participate in the ham auction, please bring your checkbook, because those hams can be expensive. But it is a great program, and we really appreciate the 4-H and Extension Office and all that they put into for the kids and the youth of our county. Madison Southern's Homecoming Parade will be Thursday, September 14th. Another thing, Thursday's going to be a busy day. Beginning at 6 p.m., the Eagles will play the Henry Clay Blue Devils on Friday, September 15th at 7:30 p.m. Berea's annual Spoon Bread Festival will be Friday through Sunday, September 15th through the 17th at Memorial Park, down on the corner of Broadway and Jefferson Street, and at the Russell Acton Folk Center there. Please be mindful of increased traffic in the area. It's always a wonderful festival there in Berea. Morning Point of Richmond Senior Living is hosting their 3rd annual Pets on Parade on Friday, September 15th at 5:30 p.m. Email richmond-ed@morningpoint.com to register. EKU's home football opener will be Saturday, September 16th at 6 p.m. Please be mindful of increased traffic in the area on the bypass. Madison Central's homecoming parade will be Thursday, September 21st, beginning at 6 p.m. The Indians will play Great Crossing on Friday, September the 22nd at 7:30 p.m. The Berea Volunteer Fire and Rescue's Blast from the Past Car Show will be Saturday, September the 23rd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Berea College Forestry Outreach Center, located out at 2047 Big Hill Road. And then last but not least, Kirksville Day will be Saturday, September 23rd from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Kirksville Community Center. Email kirksvillecommunitycenter@gmail.com for more information. That is also always a fun event. Comments from magistrates? Brian?
Judge, what day did you say that the volunteer fire department thing was?
It is the 23rd, Saturday, September the 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, I just wanted to make an announcement. The East Kentucky Power is having a open house for their project out on Red Lick, and for all those that live in that area, they're having an open house for so they can communicate what they plan on doing, and that's on September the 21st from 3 to 7 at the Berea Forest Outreach Center. That's 2047 Big Hill Road. And you mentioned the Spoonbread Festival, and glad that festival is going on again this year. It's always fun to get together and talk with people, and we'll get to serve some spoon bread. Hopefully everybody gets to come down and participate in that, but I look forward to that event. That's all I got, Judge. Glad to be here.
Glad you're here, buddy. Steve?
Yes, sir. Just one thing. I wanted to let the court know I represented the court on Sunday at 2 p.m. Those of you that are aware of the East Side Community Church, it has a location on the Irvin Road, right? Yeah.
Lexington Road. Oh, well, their church is
Right.
on Irvin Road, yes.
On Irvin Road is, we had a groundbreaking ceremony on Lexington Road. They're going to open up a second location in the northern part of Madison County. So they had a groundbreaking up there, and there was a great attendance, and I happened to go to East Side Community Church and was happy to represent the court up there, and there was a big crowd, and we look forward to having another home of the Lord up there in the northern part of the county. That's it, Judge.
Thank you, buddy. Bill Wright?
Yeah, you know, yesterday was 9/11, the 22nd anniversary, and I remember 9/11 22 years ago. We was in fiscal court, had a fiscal court meeting that day, and got up there to the judge's office. He had a little TV, and one of the towers had a plane fly into it, and we were kind of scratching our head, and that was like at 8:35 or something like that. And then we were just watching at 9:15, we saw another plane just flew right into that other building. And that was about 9:15. We started court at 9:30, and there was Dr. Bill Tudor and Forness Park and Larry Combs and Kent Clark and myself. And I remember Roger Oliver was an attorney. He was making a presentation on a fairly controversial land use change. But I remember sitting there and thinking, man, this don't matter. I was having a hard time focusing on what he wanted me to focus on, because I thought the country, we're under attack right now, and we're here worried about a land use change that doesn't amount to anything. But it was really, I know most everyone here remembers where you was at on that day, and it left a deep impression on me about, you know, what our country was going through at that time. I'm just doing a little recollection, just as a reminder to all what we've endured.
Need to never forget it.
Yeah, and it goes back to what Tom said earlier. You know, there's those individuals that gave their lives, and there's those individuals that lost their lives. And we as Americans and citizens of this country should never forget.
You know, I was hearing that a lot of these high school seniors and even college students, they weren't alive when this happened.
Right.
So this new generation, you know, 22 years, there's a lot of people who don't have any recollection whatsoever of it. Thank you.
Less than 48 hours when that happened, I'd just gotten back from my honeymoon. Just got married, and spoke yesterday at McCready Manor. They had a kind of celebration. People that are McCready yesterday, and I got to speak, and you know, I talked about, you know, September 1st was one of the happiest days of my life because I married the love of my life, and we got to go on our honeymoon. And then on that Tuesday, that was one of the saddest days of my life, you know, because never gone through that before. I never had, no. So, yep. But Tom,
Thank you for bringing that up, because we always do need to remember. We don't ever want to forget that. I don't have much today, Judge. You know, I just want to say that the typical call for a magistrate, and a lot of those calls go straight to the road department, is not a call of somebody calling to say thank you. It's calling because there's the road in front of there has a pothole, or there's the line of sight's messed up, or there's a tree down, or there's this, or there's that, and it's generally a lot of problems. I got a call yesterday from a lady that lives out on Muddy Creek. Her name is Mary Lynn Campbell, and I want to just, Scott, for you to relay back to your people, they cut down a tree out there that was graveyard dead, and that thing is as big as that table over there. I mean, it was huge. And I know that was a tough job for those folks, but that lady called. She was so thankful about that, and she really appreciated it, and I just wanted to relay that. So thank you very much. And that's all I had, Judge. If anyone needs me, they can reach me at 200-9765.
Thank you, Tom. Counselor? You good? Steve? Stotzy? Kenny?
Nope.
You good? All right. Department heads. I think, Chris, you're going to come up and give us an update on broadband.
Yep, I'll be quick, I promise. Just a quick update. We met with them August 23rd, part of our monthly meeting with Spectrum. Our next one will be the 26th of September, where we'll get additional information. But at this point, they have connected over 1,000 homes. All of those 1,000 homes exist in the RDOF areas. Again, that is the most western and eastern parts of the county that they were given federal dollars to do that at. And then they receive state money, which is more of the middle, and then the county is the third leg of that to fill in the gaps. So 1,000 of those are filled in the RDOF area. They're working right now to get pole attachments as part of the state grant. The pole attachments is the longest portion of all of this, and it will be the holdup for the foreseeable future to get all those pole attachments. I think we have, Jill, sent letters to the utility companies and trying to be an advocate to move that forward, because basically once the pole attachments are done, broadband can go in fast, but you can't do it without pole attachments. So that's where we're at these days. And currently it looks like they're about 500 over. They're going to get 500 more people with RDOF than they expected to get. So the original estimate was 1,100. There'll be around 1,600 people that they collected with that. What that does is basically drives the county's cost down a little bit because they're getting picked up by the federal dollars. So that's where we're at. And just some numbers so people are kind of aware. In the RDOF areas, Spectrum had to request 2,000 pole attachments. In the KDBF area, which is the state grant, they will request over 3,000 pole attachments. So when we say that's the longest and most painful part of this, that's why there are so many, and the companies are just they're inundated with requests for pole attachments. So, but that's where we're at moving forward. And just remember that we're trying to get them, and this was kind of their idea, and we kind of supported a little bit, is that they're going to try to take the state grant and kind of bring it together with the county's portion of it as well to do one big project instead of trying to do this three-phase approach. So hopefully we'll see a little better movement with this last part of it, where the state and the county are kind of working together and they're just hitting everybody. So that's 1,000 more people that have gotten connected or have the ability to be connected to Spectrum Internet Service. So we're well on our way. We got about, I think it was 3,200 total homes to reach. So
yep,
moving along.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate
Chris,
the update.
you may or may not know this, but how often does a utility company not grant a pole attachment?
It's never an option. It's never really that they don't. It's they go out and survey the pole. The pole's not big enough. It's not tall enough. It's broken or whatever it may be.
How long it takes.
Then it's got to be retrofitted, and the equipment on the pole has to be done. It's just a big, long, drawn out thing that has to happen. So we've wrote letters to advocate. And I think the next step, we'll probably discuss this at the next meeting with them here, and we're going to have a joint meeting in October with the pole owner, Spectrum, and the county, so that we can actually sit down face to face and talk to them and be like, what can we do to get things out of your way to help move this along, because it is the single slowest point of the whole process. So they don't usually deny them. It's just a matter of making them up and moving them and replacing them and taking what's on there off and putting back on. So
Okay.
it's just a long process.
Just from my perspective, it makes sense that if this company wanted to do it, then they would grant it. But I can understand if the pole is not the right size or whatever, there's more to it than that.
And they're paying pole attachment fees, so nobody really cares, right? So Spectrum goes up and puts lines on an AT&T pole. AT&T's making money. They don't. It doesn't really hurt their feelings any. So everybody's winning. That's the name of the game. So we're well on our way, and we'll have another report after the September meeting.
Thanks, Chris. Anyone else? All right, any other department heads? Any comments from the audience? Or do we have any Facebook comments today? No? All right. I need a motion and a second to pay the claims and approve the transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Master, I give up. Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Our next meeting is September 26, 2023. That'll be back in Richmond, at Richmond City Hall, in the Richmond City Commission chambers at 9:30 a.m. Again, that's September 26, 2023 is our next regular scheduled fiscal court meeting at 9:30 a.m. I need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Master Lockmuller?
Yes.
Master Hughes?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Thank you all. Appreciate everybody being here.